This is serious, though. I mean,
it is serious.
This has become nationally important.
Right. We talk about our stressed power grids, and based on those forecasts, you know, more heat means more air conditioning, so we're all going to be sapping and tapping into that power grid. Already last week, we had Southern California Edison. They're one of the largest electric utilities that are out there, and they were urging customers to be conservative in terms of their power usage to already kind of reduce some of the strain, if you will, on their already strained system. Other regions of the United States, they are also facing some pretty tight supplies. For those of us, unfortunately, here in New York and on the East Coast, if you're out on the West Coast, and if you're in the Lone Star State of Texas, you are the most stressed out.
Why is that?
A lot of power usage, a lot of people. It's just, I think the systems haven't kept up. And we talk about infrastructure, old grids, having to...
There was a blackout in the 60s. Neither of you will remember. I remember staring out the window at a completely
we remember the blackout from 2003.
But the one from... was 9 years ago already, was a big deal. Is the nation any more prepared than it was when something bad happened? I think it was in Ohio, and it took out the entire Northeast.
Well, I think, you know, are we more prepared? I think there's an increased awareness, Tom, and this plays into the whole infrastructure, whether you're talking about bridges and buildings and, you know, the power grid. People are aware that there's more usage being done, and so there's an increased awareness and an understanding that we need to commit money to it. We did, though, go through all the power grids. New York, Texas, and California are so big that they're their own power grids. It kind of makes sense. We worked with Bloomberg Rankings, and we kind of did a comparison between energy demand and the available resources that are out there.
Texas.
Look at Texas, and let me tell you what that means. If demand in that state for electricity peaks this summer, that means they may lack needed power. That means they're almost 1% below what will be needed at peak. So they are incredibly stressed out. New York, we've got a little bit of a surplus, almost 2%, but it's not a lot if you think about it. And then California's got about a 2.4% surplus. But again, that shows you a very, very slim margin that if we're at
not
peak,
a whole lot of room.
No, not a lot of
What
moving
does this mean for energy prices?
Well, energy prices, interestingly enough, we've seen them down, and I'm looking at some forecasts here for the summer, and we're looking at about an average bill for 3 months of June, July, and August of almost $400, except for Tom, who's got his air conditioning probably going full force.
It's on right now, 60 degrees.
I've got the people with the fans.
I like those people.
But this is important. This is Bloomberg data off Bloomberg HD, and the information you can see to the right of the screen. Coal, 39%, nat gas, 34%, nuclear, 17%. Where does nuclear fit into this right now? We're not building any plants.
We're not, right? Nobody wants it in their backyard. Everybody's scared of nuclear and what it means. But, you know, we've got to figure out some kind of way because more and more people are taxing the system at this point, and that's a problem. But as you know, it's a political football.
There's got to be some good news here. Is there any part of the region that is doing okay and in good shape?
Everybody should move to the southeast because that is doing the best
Florida, Tom.
in terms of, exactly, they are doing the best in terms of the amount of power. Let me just look at my number here. They have about 11.8, so at peak during the summer, they've got almost 12% extra power that they can kind of kick into the system. So we're all moving to
I have trouble with it because you walk down the streets of Manhattan and it will be like 90-something out, whatever it is, and you'll walk by a store like, you know, Sephora, which I think is a makeup store, not that I would know, but the doors are wide open and the cold air is rushing out.
Right.
We still have a lot of inefficiencies.
We all need to kind of, when we talk about raised awareness, we all kind of have to have some awareness of how we can conserve.
All right, that just means that come Monday, Tom's going to come in shorts to the Bloomberg studios.
See you, such a shorts.
Promises.